Hey, I've made this for you, so listen closely. You won't want to miss the next few minutes of this brief video that I've designed to help you grow your business. Hi, my name is David Griffin, and I'm a business growth consultant. I'm also a Facebook advertising and social media marketing specialist. My friends call me a marketing guru, but I like to consider myself more of a marketing maverick. Yeah. Tonight, I'm going to talk with you about 8 reasons that you want your business on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest. Now, you might say, well, why do I want to do that? Well, I'm going to give you 8 good reasons why you should, and then it's up to you. But first, I'm going to ask you to please turn off all of your devices. We don't want you to be distracted from any of the good content you're about to get. All right? So the first reason that you want your business on those 3 platforms is that you are reaching people where they already are. You're not wasting a lot of time throwing money away, missing your ideal client. Just think, Instagram now has 600 million active users and records up to 3.5 billion likes every day. Now, in full transparency, these numbers are about maybe 16 to 18 months off. So trust me when I tell you, these numbers have only increased. They haven't decreased. Now, there are a lot of reasons why, and one of them is because there are a lot of people on social media around the world, globally, and we do live in a global economy now, where 2.8 billion people as of late 2017, first quarter 2017, were actively using all types of social media. But they're not all on the same network, and that's where people make their mistake. It's best that you cover all the bases, as many bases as you can, because just look at this. 28% of that 2.8 billion, they're on one site, and guess which site that is. But 24% are on at least 2 sites consistently, whereas 16% are on 3 and 8% are on 4 sites, and 4% of that 2.8 billion, which is still a tremendous amount of people on social media, or on all 5 sites. Okay, now what does this tell us? This tells us that not everyone is on the same social media platform, but more importantly, it tells us that everybody, that 2.8 billion, are on some form of social media. And many of them, you got to understand, are probably some of your ideal customers and clients for your services. So let's take a little closer look at this. First, Instagram. Instagram has 600 million unique monthly users. They're predominantly female, at 38% of people that are online are women, and those 30% of that 600 million. And they are usually under the age of 35. That means 90% of that 600 million are under the age of 35 on Instagram. So if you have a product or service that caters to the age group, well, this might be a good platform for you to be a part of. And 53% of Instagram users follow brands. That's really important, because if you have a product or a service that is connected to a global or universal or corporate brand, then this is definitely one that you want to take advantage of. Now, another platform is Twitter. Twitter has 317 million unique monthly users. They're predominantly male, but they're only 22% of men that are online are on Twitter, whereas only 15% of women that are online are on Twitter. Mostly their ages are 18 to 29, and 53% of those users never even post anything. They just watch and they troll and they follow, and they don't really get engaged. That's important. Now, it's also important to understand that of those 317 million, they only really spend about 2.7 minutes on Twitter mobile apps per day. I know that I'm about maybe 5 minutes per day, okay? And that's not every day. So we see what age group we're looking at, 18 to 29. We know they're not engaging, and we know that they're mostly males, but that even is a low number, okay? But now it reminds me of an old incident where someone robbed a bank, and they asked the guy, why'd you rob the bank? And the man said, because that's where the money's at. Well, guess what? Why do you put your advertising in social media? Because guess what? This is where the money is. Facebook is the most popular. About 18 months ago, we were at 1.9 billion, with a B again, for unique monthly users. They are, of all the people that are online, 83% of the women that are online are on Facebook. 83%. That's 83 out of 100 women that are online are on Facebook. And 75% of all men that are online are on Facebook. Wow. Their ages range between 18 and 49. That's especially good to know. And that they spend at least 7 hours per week on social media across the board. And I believe it's even much more than that, actually. 75% of the users spend about 20 minutes or more a day on Facebook alone. Now, and I believe that's significantly more too. But at least 20 minutes a day for 75% of that 1.9 billion. Now, Pinterest is a different animal. Pinterest, their advertising is tremendously effective when it comes to clothing, retail, and the things that women particularly purchase. They have about the same number of unique monthly users, 317 million, but of those, of all the women that are on Facebook, 45% of them are also on Pinterest, and whereas only 17% of men. And again, these numbers are a little low because I know these numbers are increasing, particularly amongst men. But what's really unique is when you look at Pinterest and you see how it's such an equal distribution between the age groups, 18 to 29, 30 to 49, 50 to 64. No other platform captures such a fair, evenly distributed number amongst the age groups as Pinterest does. I don't know how it happens, but those are the numbers, and we can't argue with that. Now, let's look at this. Out of everyone that's on Pinterest, they are 10% more likely to make a purchase on an e-commerce site than any other network. So if you have a product or service that you're selling through, let's say Square or Stripe or some other e-bank, right? And you have your system set up where they can purchase those items, and your items are listed on Pinterest, let's say they're also listed on other platforms as well, people are 10% more likely to purchase them off of Pinterest than on those other sites. And I don't even think I need to explain any more to that, right? But let's look at the best longevity. This is what makes it the most evergreen. The half-life of a pen is 151,200 minutes. That's 105 days. A creative advertisement, a image or a creative advertisement that you put on Pinterest has a life cycle of 105 days. That is tremendously important, because you don't have to continue to create advertising and it's still drawing likes and it's still creating business and generating money for you. Now, the fifth platform, which is YouTube, is better than TV. It is the new TV. 1 billion unique monthly users, predominantly male, at 55% versus 45% for female. But the age range is between 18 and 49. Again, it's not going up into the much older categories because they're much more used to watching the evening news, right? And game shows and whatever the case may be. But for the 18 to 49, they are engaged with YouTube. And they're watching the YouTube and they're watching the commercials and they're being involved. And they're also actively looking at the commercials and the advertisements that are being put into that. Okay, 2 million views per minute. I can't even get my mind around that. 2 million views per minute. That means, and I look at my teenage children and I see it. They are watching YouTube, and they're not watching shows. They're watching video clips. So again, the first reason is because you are reaching people where they already are. It's that simple. So if you're not advertising on any social media platform, then you're really not tapping into where people's hearts and minds are right now. Okay. The second reason is because you're going to generate a lot more awareness of your business and its product or services. You know, having a Facebook business page establishes your business in today's society, just as the Better Business Bureau once did. I spoke to that earlier. You know, there is no other advertising platform that allows you to share your product or service like a Facebook business page. There really isn't, because of the level of engagement that it generates amongst your friends and your friends' friends. I can't even get into the way they create lookalike audiences and custom audiences to create audiences, the ideal clients for your customers. It's mind blowing. Now, it also, once you know that, it'll do this because Facebook will actually help you capture the attention of your ideal customer. It's going to create algorithms, already has, that will identify your client and people that are like your client. So when you target them, you'll have a much more targeted, laser-like strategy to get them to become sensitive and open to whatever it is you're selling or you're promoting. One, because you will already know that's what they like. Yeah, the more people who like and share your content through social media, that creates more eyeballs for you. They gain more attention to your product or your service. Now, the third reason is because it really is cheap. Now, this is ideal for small to mid-sized businesses with limited marketing budgets. 30% of Instagram users say they have purchased a product they found on Instagram. And I've already told you that Pinterest is like 10%, 10% more likely to purchase off of Pinterest than any other site. Now, here I want to show you, if you can see, I just took a screenshot of a campaign I ran a while back. It is showing you that if you look at my business, Low Country Pioneer Solutions, it's a lead generation ad, okay? And that ad, at that point, very early on, obtained one lead for me. But that lead cost me $10. So I have to ask myself, what would I be willing to pay to get the client, the type of client, my ideal client, who's going to spend premium dollars with me over and over and over again? Am I willing to spend $10 to get that client? You better believe it. Advertising on these platforms are not free, but the cost can range from minimal to not so minimal. Marketing that would normally cost you tens of thousands compared to when using traditional advertising channels can now be done at a fraction of that cost with Facebook ads. Platforms such as Google, AdWords, LinkedIn, and Facebook offer the lowest click per thousand in advertising history. Traditional marketing media such as magazine ads may cost a business $20 or more to reach 1,000 people. The same thing can be accomplished on Facebook for pennies on the dollar. It costs an average of only 25 cents to reach 1,000 people through Facebook. And I have to give you this caveat, and that is reflective of the particular audience that you're actually trying to target and how focused that audience is. The broader the audience, it's going to be a lot less than the more specific, because you're targeting a fewer number of people, maybe in a smaller geographical area. But it's still hands down, once your ad becomes really a part of the algorithm and begins to run on a consistent basis, the cost goes down more and more and more. And no other advertising platform works like that. Most advertising platforms work like this. The more effective it becomes, the more they want more money to run it. Facebook advertising is just the opposite. Now, what about social media comparisons? When you look at, according to WordStream, that's an industry qualifier, so to speak, like a clearinghouse. The average click-through rate for Facebook ads is about 9%. Okay, I'm sorry, 9%. Whereas the average Google ad click-through rate is going to be about 35%. Now, when it comes to conversion rates, Facebook boasts a 9.21% conversion rate compared to Google AdWords, which is about 2.7. Now, these aren't a complete picture of your return on your investment, but they are sufficient enough to point out that Facebook ads are competitive in advertising performance. And that's just true. Google AdWords, they are going to cost you a lot more, and it's a little bit more complicated. There's not enough flexibility with Google AdWords. You can't really target your audience as much as you can with Facebook advertising, even though they have become a lot more sophisticated over the last year or two. Now, again, it's cheap. So Instagram users are up 120 times more likely to engage with ads than on other social media sites like Twitter. Stop throwing away your money on forms of advertising that are going to bring you minimal results. You want advertising that's going to bring you effective, consistent, huge results for as little money as possible, because again, it's cheap. Advertising on Facebook and Instagram is an investment your business needs to make to guarantee more results. Now, the fourth reason is because you can target your ideal customer. I talked a little bit about that a moment ago. Facebook offers precise targeting of advertising thanks to the amount of demographic data that is collected from its users. I know Cambridge Analytica is on the block, some other ones on the blocks about that, but that hasn't changed since 100 years ago. It's always been that way. Businesses want to know what our customers want, and we want to look at how we can get information that'll tell us what they want. And Zuckerberg and his crew of geniuses figured out algorithms that could do this by using some legitimate tactics, but which were used illegitimately. Now they're put some things in place to tighten that up. At the end of the day, marketing is still marketing. It's positioning yourself so that you can be in place so that when your prospective client or customer is ready to make a purchase, you can provide for them what they really need. With Facebook ads, you can reach your target market with precision and do it with minimal expense. Now, your fifth reason is a much better return on your investment, your ROI. The more people who like and share your content through social media, the more potential eyeballs you gain and maintain their attention. The sixth reason is because it cultivates lifetime value for your customers by easily staying in touch with them. It has been statistically proven that currently people are more likely to purchase from businesses they feel connected to. We live in a relationship economy. Facebook and Instagram give you unparalleled ability to communicate and connect with your customers through text, photos, videos, and so much more. The seventh reason, it's where people will discover your business. If you're not advertising on social media and your competition is, guess what? Guess who will get an initial contact call first when your consumer is looking for your service or product? Just think about it. If you're not there and someone else is, they're going to get the call. And if you're the only one there and they don't even know that exists, guess who's going to get called? You can't sell to someone who doesn't know you exist. And you can't sell a product or service if the consumer has never heard of you or has forgotten you exist when they need that service or product the most. I was talking with someone today about how their business can cater to an international market, but yet they're not on social media. Go figure. Now, the next reason for having your business on all three of those platforms, that's Facebook, that's Pinterest, and that's Instagram, is number 8. Social media helps drive customers to your business website. By redirecting even a small portion of Facebook's huge amount of daily traffic to your website, your business could significantly improve the amount of qualified leads on your site. I didn't talk too much about qualified leads, but just think about it. You sit down and dream about your ideal client, that's the person we want. And that's how we target them to understand that you're the best choice for their service for them to spend their money with. By now, you're probably asking yourself, you're wondering, just really, okay, how do I get started? There's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of different conversations in the news, out of the news, at the barbershop, maybe just not even on your radar. You may be wondering what type of ads should you be running? What type of campaign should you be running? How much money should you be spending? Well, contact me today to get started. Let's have a conversation about it. Let me give you a pre-qualifying interview. Let me give you a social media audit to see just if social media would be an ideal platform for you, which I believe it would be if you're in business making money today, or whether or not you and I would even be a good fit. You can call me at 1-843-410-8024 or visit www.lowcountrypioneersolutions.com and schedule a strategy session today. And we can at least begin the conversation to see if you can have your business on at least 3 of the 5 major social media marketing platforms. All right. Have a wonderful afternoon. God's grace and peace on your journey. Bye-bye.